What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Crash Course Metal Show. I'm your host, Trevor Krash Knight, and we got a very good, very special guest here. Ronnie Borchert, how you doing, brother, from Miss Crazy?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, man, good. So, as many people know from your previous work here, such as Trixie, Freak Show, and obviously your main deal, Miss Crazy. And you do have a new album that just recently came out, Clones, from obviously this year, 2022. Can you give us a little bit of background on how this album came to be, Clones?
Well, it's the follow-up to, like 3 years ago, we came out with Make America Crazy Again.
Right.
And that was really a successful record for me because I hadn't done a Miss Crazy record for like almost 6 years.
Yeah.
Before that. So, I did Welcome to the Freak Show with Jeff LaBar. We can get into that later. But, so I really, to be honest with you, I was kind of almost thinking I wasn't going to do another Miss Crazy album. I was just kind of like, I think all on that last album, right? So I wasn't so sure about doing another record, but then I got approached to sell my label, which was Miss Crazy Records, and I sold my record company, and I got a new record deal, and a part of that new record deal is they wanted at least one more Miss Crazy album from me.
Okay.
So, but the cool thing about this label is that a couple staff members worked at former labels that I was with, and it was a good rapport right out of the gate. So they were kind of like fans of some of the music I'd done before.
Okay.
Like, Trixie, and they knew about Amsterdam and, things I did when I was young, like really young. And Trixie, I started when I was like 18, 19 years old. So, so long story short, they talked me into doing this new record. So I, approached certain people. I couldn't get a hold of some people that I wanted were already doing something else, committed. But I got the original bass player along with Vern Anderson, who played on my solo album, played on some Trixie stuff. And he's very prevalent on the first Miss Crazy album. He was just a ghost guitar player.
Okay.
So it came together really good, but the difference between Clones and previous Miss Crazy records are that I've already done so many albums of the same style of stuff. It would be like Def Leppard continuously doing High and Dry over and over and over and over, right? You'd be like, okay, dudes, So, when I did Can't Get Enough, that was 16 years ago.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to grow in my musical tastes and things that I can do. And anytime anybody wants any of that stuff, listen to those albums. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I understand. You got to have a certain part of creativity. You want to keep pushing the boundaries a little bit on your creativeness, right?
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's not easy anymore. Like I used to just kick these things out. But, after a while, you're like, hey, there's only so many chords, there's so many things. So I was like, writing songs that were ripping off my other songs. So I was like, okay, I gotta dig deep into some places. But the new record is more, it still has the Miss Crazy trip, but I tapped into some of my other styles, that I did with Trixie and even Amsterdam.
Right.
And incorporated that more into this album.
Okay. All right, sweet. Yeah, definitely. It seems like the two singles that came out, Clones, the title track, and then Living in America, are doing pretty well, reception-wise. So
yeah. And due to Facebook and YouTube's new rules about, basically, long story short, they want you to pay them to get the promotion, right? So. Right. Yep. It wasn't like you get to just put up something and then everyone sees it. Like they take my stuff out of the news feeds now. Same with YouTube. They're like, only a certain amount of people are going to see this. So any video plays that I get now are like totally legit, like, I actually got to that person.
Yeah, like no bots or anything like that. So
Yeah, well, it's not about that. It's just that you promote for free anymore.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, why do you think they originally got rid of MySpace,
Yeah, good call on that. So yeah, definitely good news here with the new album. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about Miss Crazy's origins and even your origins, if depending how far back you want to go. But I think the fans definitely want to hear, especially me. I want to hear some of the origin stuff, like from your first, like how did Miss Crazy come to be?
Well, the band, okay. Kim and I were in a band with my sister Nicole, who actually is on the new album.
Okay.
She appears on a song called "I Don't Believe in Love" and a song called "Tonight."
Okay.
And initially, we were in her band, and it didn't work out. And my sister was just wanting to do some different things, and we wanted to, take it on the road and play and do all this stuff. So, in that time period, Kim and I were playing with my sister. I started writing different songs for Miss Crazy, and we got in the studio and just started doing it on the side.
Okay.
And then once it was recorded and finished, we looked at each other and we came up with the gimmick. Like, Kim Racer and Markus Allen Christopher, which is, Marcus is my brother, Marcus, my middle name's Allen, and my other brother's Christopher. So I came up with the name Markus Allen Christopher, right?
Nice. Okay, yeah, because I was going to ask you as well, where did the Markus Allen Christopher character basically come from?
Right there.
Okay.
That and my love for Brandon Lee.
Okay.
I love Bruce Lee and I love Brandon Lee. And then I loved Kiss like everybody.
Right.
Like, who doesn't love Kiss, right?
Yeah. All rockers have some sort of tie, no matter big or small, some kind of tie to Kiss.
Absolutely. And so, when I did that, I wanted to start fresh because I had so many friends in the industry already. Like, I already knew all the dudes in Rat, and, I met Gene and Paul and Nikki Sixx, and I knew all those guys under Ronnie.
Okay.
So I wanted to just do something brand new that took me away from my past completely. And I started fresh and starting this new band with Kim and putting on the makeup and turning into this kind of, thing that we were doing, taking it on the road, playing everywhere. And we had this album and we had MySpace, right? Because MySpace was the way to go.
Exactly.
You could have like 100,000 friends. You had your music on there. We were getting booked all over the freaking country. We were doing it ourselves. We did like 3 tours of Texas. You know what I mean? It was like we were building our fan base from the ground up with this one album. And that led into the recession that happened in 2008 because we toured 2006 and all of 2007.
Okay.
So we were going to start a tour in 2008, but then the recession came in, thanks George Bush, and then Obama continued it with his bullshit. Mm-hmm. So nothing really got better, right? So I came out with Miss Crazy 2, and, people quit and different band lineup changes because it's not easy being in an independent band and wanting to go on tour during a recession.
Right, yeah.
You're fighting to keep your family alive and shit, right?
Exactly.
So then that's when I got with Jeff LaBar and Frankie Bonelli and Tony Franklin, and we did the first Freak Show album.
Right, yep.
Because I was like, yeah, that one. Yep. Cool, yeah. Is that an original one?
Yes.
Oh, it's an original one.
Yep.
All right, Trevor. Yeah, sweet, dude.
There you go, brother. There's Ronnie right there.
Right there.
Great album, though, my man. Great album. It's just, I don't want to cut you off here, but it's just a shame you guys couldn't build anything with that.
Well, that's a whole nother interview, dude. We can do that on the next one.
Okay.
Because that's a long, drawn out story, but I'll do that with you if you want to do that some other time.
Yeah, sure, bro.
So I did the Freak Show thing, and then, it kept me relevant, right?
Mhm.
But because of that tragic whole situation with that band, how it went down, I got into a little depression thing, and I went back to Canada for a while. I'm Canadian, by the way, everybody.
Yep.
So I went back there, and I gathered myself and took a while, and then around 2012, I started writing again and coming up with ideas, and I realized that I could still do this. And so, 2013, I recorded Grip,
Right.
and then, came out with that and Resurrection Hard Rock and Inception. And I did those 3 albums. We did some handful of shows here and there, played around, did videos, got back in the groove, and I did a solo album right before that Freak Show album.
Okay.
So like I was writing a lot, doing a lot of stuff. And, but lineup, people's change, and this guy can do it, and then this guy can't do it, and then this guy can do it.
Yep.
So doing albums have been like just one big solo album, basically. I just keep doing different things, but I always deliver, you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. Nothing that you have put out, I can say, is totally like out of left field or just like not Ronnie. It all sounds original, definitely. So
thanks, man. And I do like a lot of, there are those, you're always gonna, no matter when you do good at something or you're a true rocker or whatever you do, there's always the haters, right? So you get those haters that are all, dude, you're ripping off Motley Crue. Dude, you're ripping off AC/DC. Dude, you're ripping off Cinderella. Dude, you're ripping. Sorry, I am my influences. Like when a band starts, they don't just go, "Oh yeah, we played music on 1/5 timing, and we go da 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 da," because that's original. No one's done that. Yeah, well, there's a reason for that.
Exactly. And I mean, to be honest, it is 2022 now, and no one is original. I mean, as far as like everyone has influences, everyone's taking a little piece here and there and here, and I prefer to listen to people that have the influences that I like as well. So it's
I mean, there's those people that love Def Leppard and AC/DC and Cinderella and Quiet Riot and Kiss and Ozzy and all the bands that made us who we are, right? So if I'm gonna play in a band, I'm playing music like that.
100%.
You know what I mean? And the fans that I do have worldwide, and I've always remained underground, which is fine with me, because you can actually do better that way. A major label takes all your money, and then you're only pocketed for a while.
Yep.
And then after that, it sucks. But I mean, we could have a whole nother discussion about that too. I think now it's easier to drop the word Illuminati, where a couple years ago people were still going, "Oh, dude, don't get weird on me.
Yeah, don't get Miss Crazy on me. Don't get crazy on me."
Don't get weird on me and talk about that weird stuff." But it's like, well, now it's like you just throw that out and they're all, "Oh yeah, oh, those bands."
Yeah. Good stuff. So
totally.
so then you came out after Grip. It was Inception, correct? Was that?
No, it was Resurrection Hard Rock.
Or Resurrection. Okay, I gotcha. And then as you said, Make America Crazy Again was your 2019, correct?
Yeah, 2019. Yep. But it was like December, so
okay,
basically 2020.
Okay, so it definitely that seemed like it was received well as well, correct?
Yeah, no, that was my best-selling album since Can't Get Enough.
Oh, okay.
So that really got Miss Crazy out again. Like people were like, "Oh, Miss Crazy."
Right, a little bit of a revival. A little bit of a revival there for you.
Well, yeah, because Inception, and what Inception is one new song in a cover.
Okay.
Love Me, Hate Me, Love, or whatever it's called, Love Me, Hate Me, and All Canadian Man were on there, which appears on the covers thing. But those were the only 2 things we did from scratch. All the other ones were leftovers from Resurrection Hard Rock that we didn't use.
Okay. All right, that makes
sense. So that was just kind of like a B-side record with a new song. But either way, Yeah, that was pretty much that 2014 year.
Okay. All right.
And those were the last Miss Crazy records, right? And then after that, I did a Welcome to the Freak Show with Jeff LaBar
Yes.
and the drummer of the soon-to-be Miss Crazy, Tom Frost. Okay. And then Eric, who was in with me on Inception and Resurrection Hard Rock.
Okay.
And then we did Welcome to the Freak Show. We went on a little mini tour, and we sold those to all our fans. You know, it was just like a little tour thing that we did, you know?
Very cool. So I did have a friend ask me a couple days ago. He knew that I was going to be interviewing you, and he said, ask him if there's going to be any future for Miss Crazy, because he said that he might have seen a post that's saying that the Clones might be the last album. Is there any truth to that? Because I didn't see the post personally. So
yeah, there is that there is that I wanted to close the door with that band.
Okay.
With those songs, that album.
Yeah. So
and end it with that.
Yeah. So basically, the record company was like, "Hey, just at least put one more Miss Crazy out."
Yeah, get Kim back and do one more album and do this record and blah blah blah, and I did that. Yeah. And it's like, look, all good things come to an end, you know. I'm not Def Leppard, so it's not like I can just keep kicking out albums after album after album, you know, and people are lining up around the, you know, building. Not that we wouldn't have a good tour or do anything, but I'm moving on to. I'm not going to quit music, but I'm playing right now. I'm working on a new project with Stet Howland from Wasp and Carlos Cavazzo from Quiet Riot.
Oh, okay, nice.
And we're doing a new thing, and it's called Seven Kingdoms.
All right.
So that'll be hitting soon. Like I'm writing, and we're going to start recording in September. Now run around the corner, so.
Yeah, time flies. It will be here before you.
So it'll be like like I did Freak Show, you know.
Yes, there you go. Hey, that'd be awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's a nice.
Well, dude, you'll love it. You trust me.
All right, sweet brother. So definitely, I wanted to ask as well. I know you traveled all around. Which part? We'll do more recent times. Which part of the world or of the USA or even Canada has the best metal scene or rock scene as of now? I know that's probably somewhat of a bigger answer, but just anything off the top of your head.
Well, Washington State.
Okay.
A little bit. Arizona.
Nice.
Texas.
Right.
Your Iowas, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Even Ohio, like some spot, like they're like Philly, the places that kind of have their heads up their asses are like New York, LA. You can still do good in LA if you have a really good package deal show. Other than that, there's just too much to do.
Right.
Unless you're like Van Halen or something, not a lot of people give a shit in LA. They're Exactly. And same with the Bay Area. The Bay Area is kind of weak too. San Jose isn't as bad, but.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely. I definitely hear some of the same answers that you just gave, and it's kind of a shame. It's just not the way it used to be. But yeah, the heads up the asses type deal. I understand what you mean by that. So, and then I guess I got maybe one or two more questions here for you. And now you said you're not going to be doing too much of the music, and when you didn't have a lot of music projects that you were working on in the past, you did a lot of producing. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's like your side or more of a primary thing now?
Yeah. I mean, no, not really. I mean, I produced the latest record with Andrew DeGuara, who did the last Queensryche album with Jeff Tate.
Okay.
So we got, the clarity and the overall sound that I wanted. Mm-hmm. Probably going to do the new one with him too. I'm figuring. We'll see, but I think it's just, I do a lot of that for my own stuff because I already know how to do it pretty good now.
Yeah.
And I've done that with some good things. And in the past, I started like I did Sophie from the Bullet Boys, one of their obscure records. I took over for Andy Johns and I finished that record. And I think that's when I started realizing that, I could do this, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Even though that album's kind of not the greatest overall because, I did it on like Pro Tools 1. But, things are different now. And, I know what I need. I don't really need a Mutt Lange or anybody to come in and polish my tunes or help me write a song or anything anymore,
Certainly, yeah.
If I'm not good at what I'm doing now, then I just should have quit,
Yeah, it's nice when you don't have to like kiss somebody's ass, like do something like that for you. Just like it's not being held up by somebody.
Yeah, and this label that I'm with now gives me the creative freedom to do those things that they already know that I can do.
Right.
They've heard the Trixie albums, they've heard all the Miss Crazy records, and they heard the latest clones. Like they know what I'm capable of, right? So right. I'm going to start working with Neil Turbin from Anthrax, the former first singer of Anthrax.
Yeah, nice, very cool.
I'm gonna help him with some new stuff, and I'm going to do some A&R work. Okay. I'm writing some songs for Michael Eden from Eden's Curse.
Okay.
So he's going to do a solo thing. I'm going to write some songs for that. But, working on this new Seven Kingdoms thing and putting Miss Crazy to bed, but I'm not forgetting any of it. Like, this new band will probably play a couple of Miss Crazy songs, when we play live.
Exactly. That'd be awesome, dude. I definitely am interested in seeing this new lineup of Seven Kingdoms and seeing what new stuff as far as, like, bringing something new, but still keeping your roots, obviously. So I like that. Very cool. So I will have I like to ask this question to everyone that I interview here. What was the album or band that made you want to do what you're doing now, music wise?
I think it's I think it's a few albums.
Okay. Go ahead, shoot them.
I think, starting out, when you hear your parents play stuff, you just kind of absorb it, but you don't know really what's really what yet. You're just kind of going off songs. And I think the difference between myself and a lot of other kids was that I didn't know I was a song guy, right? I'm a songwriter. So now, but I see what I was like. I was always about the melodies.
Okay, yep.
But, I think when I started getting into Kiss out of, child listening stuff that you just hear on the radio or, hits on the, random songs on the radio, where you started like actually getting a band, getting their album. And I got Kiss Alive too.
Okay, nice.
And I was just like, oh my God. And then when I opened up the inside, that I was just like, oh my God. And then so I got to go see them, like kids from my school and my soccer coach and everything. We all got to go to the Kiss concert in San Francisco on the Dynasty tour. And it was just remarkable. All I know is that made me want to do that. When I saw Paul Stanley, I go, I got to do that.
Yes.
And then, Back in Black album by AC/DC, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, albums by Kiss, Van Halen 1, just Van Halen in general.
Right.
And then once I started getting wind of, Def Leppard and those bands, that it just, it was all over for me, man.
Yeah, it was all downhill after that. So very cool. I'm pretty much the same way. That's how I feel. Definitely, as far as the '80s Kiss, definitely. Like you said, when you were young, your parents had stuff on, and what you heard. I heard a lot ever since I was 2 years old. I had Brittany Fox and Cinderella cassettes in the family van. So I'm right there with you, man.
When I was doing the Freak Show album in 2009, Brittany Fox asked me to be their singer.
Oh, wow.
And I told him I couldn't do it because I was doing, this thing with Frankie Banelli and Jeff LaBar,
Right. Okay. Wow. So did they ask you recently? Had they asked you?
No. They hated me after that.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, they were really pissed at me. Like, they talked all kinds of shit to me afterwards.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was the guitar player and the bass player were the only two dudes.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was some different drummer, and they're all, dude, we dig Miss Crazy. Like, they were all cool at first, and I talked to them for like a week or so, and then like a week later, they just threw that out. Wow. No, we got dates. We could play with Poison. We're gonna do all this stuff, and I'm all, well, dudes, I'm doing this thing with Jeff LaBar, Tony Franklin, and freaking Frankie Banelli.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna join Brittany Fox.
Wow. Yeah. That's yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, as much as I do like and love Brittany Fox,
and I wasn't really. To be honest with you, I wasn't really into those guys.
Yeah. I
like Cinderella, but I wasn't really into Brittany Fox.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. So
they were kind of like a poor man's Cinderella or something.
Well, I was gonna say the little brother of Cinderella. I like to call it. So, but yeah, I mean, I understand the poor man's version. I understand. It's very, and I don't. It's kind of strange, like to hear stories, like especially like if their personality that has to work to bring in, like for you to be happy. If you were gonna play with Brittany Fox, the personalities have to mesh. So. I totally understand that, but very cool, my man. So Ronnie, if you want to tell all the fans and people watching where they can find you at on YouTube or Facebook. Yeah,
I mean, as far as videos and stuff, you can just punch up Miss Crazy. There's all kinds of crap, over my career that's on there. You can find, and as far as all my music goes, you can get everything, pretty much everything I've ever done at Eonian Records. That's www.EONIAN Records. Eonian Records. They got everything. They got the new Clones album. They got the last album. They got the one before that and all that stuff.
Wait, I will put the link to that in the description as well on the video here. So Ronnie, I pretty much, that's all I have for you, my man. I want to thank you so much for coming on the Crash Course Metal Show.
Right on, Trevor. I appreciate it, brother. Where are you from anyway?
I am here in Pennsylvania, southern Pennsylvania. About an hour from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, you guys got that accent.
Yes, I know. I've been hearing that so much the last month. So something's changing in me.
You talk like Jeff LaBar does.
Oh, well, hey, I mean, Philly's only...
He's from Philly.
Yeah, that's only about 2 hours away from me. So, yeah.
2 hours. 2 hours away.
2 hours. Hours, yeah.
Hey, hours. But you guys can't do it.
Hours. How's that? Hours.
I'm going to go to my friend's home.
Oh man, I know.
I just make fun of Jeff all the time, so don't think,
You're good, my man. You're good. That's awesome. But yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. Ronnie, I want to thank you again, my man. And until next time, guys, I'm Trevor Krash Knight. That's Ronnie from Miss Crazy. Check him out, and we will see you guys later.